I'm just outside Bathurst in New South Wales with one of Australia's best known and loved fencing contractors, Rob Bailey. Rob, how you going, mate?
Tim, good. How are you, mate?
Mate, I am fantastic. Now I'm joining you on a very special day. What's that thing wrapped up behind you there, mate?
Mate, that's one of the new Thor hitters that we've just received. Yeah, the TH43.
And you've kept it all wrapped up for us?
Yeah, for this day, mate, for this day.
Now, you've been using your Thor post drivers for a while now, probably about 5 years. You had a nasty accident with a Mast hitter.
Yep.
And you decided to switch over to Thor.
Yeah, never looked back.
Been a good decision, mate.
Best decision I've made for fencing.
Now,
best decision.
You're not changing this over because it's broken, but
No.
we are getting the Thor guys in today to have a look at it and see how it's put up with what you've been using it for.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk us through some of the things that you've done.
So it's done a lot. I'm going to say in excess of 10,000 posts, strainers.
Yeah.
From railway line to your 100mm strainers, splitting firewood. Yeah, you name it, has been put through it. So
well, mate, let's get into this thing, unwrap it and see what you get in the kit.
Lovely. Nothing like a good unboxing. Here she is, boys. Let's go fencing.
Minutes, mate.
Yeah.
You had it unwrapped, you had all your tools scattered on the ground, you've attached this to your skid steer and plumbed her in, she's ready to go.
Ready to fire.
That is incredible, isn't it?
That's, yeah.
It's such a simple tool. Like, people think they need a big Mast driver on the back of a big tractor, but you reckon that's really dangerous, don't you?
Dangerous and slow. These hitters are a lot more efficient, a lot quicker. Manoeuvrability for a start.
Yep.
Hitting power for a start. And safer. Number one rule.
Now, there's a rule with tools, isn't there? It's man math. Every tool you buy saves you money.
And time.
Fantastic. Take us through them, mate.
So, you've got the 10-inch tool here.
Right.
The 8-inch dome tool.
Now, why is it domed, mate?
So what happens if you're hitting posts into tight ground, rocky ground, hard ground, it'll dome the top of your post in. So you can still get a post cap on.
So rather than flaring it out and you having to leave it a couple of inches out of the ground to cut the top off to make it fit, this one will actually fit the cap for you.
Yeah, it'll fit the cap.
Yeah, right.
No cutting.
And then for standard ground, you've got this, have you?
Yeah, so just your tool, your step tool, goes from 50mm to 150mm.
And the idea is that this slots inside the pipe and makes guiding your post to get it exactly level and straight.
A lot more
really
control
easy.
over your post. They don't bounce and slop around and move around.
Right. So you don't need someone hanging onto it.
No, once you get going, if you hit a rock or something, you've got more control over that pipe, so you can hold it and steer it to where you want it to be.
And once again, you're getting people out of the way of the work, so it's safer.
Yeah, correct.
What's this blue thing, mate?
Just your toolbox, mate. Yeah, got all your bits and pieces in there.
So you don't even need your own tools to run this?
No. Comes with the toolbox, everything you need for this unit.
Now, well, this is a bit heavy. It's cannon steel. Tell us about this, mate.
Yeah, that's just your rock pick or rock breaker.
Yeah.
If you want to smash up a few rocks or whatever to put a hole in or help with your penetrating tool.
So a lot of people have trouble with rocks where they're trying to put in fence posts, and they'll move the fence post to account for the rocks. You don't have to, do you?
No, just smash him up with that.
Talk us through the penetrator. Why should people get a penetrator?
If you're doing a lot of post, especially timber post, and you want to put a pilot hole in, perfect for putting your pilot hole in. So then your post doesn't move around and get offline.
So unlike an auger that actually digs a hole and throws out the chaff,
yep,
this is compacting the hole.
Yeah,
and the dirt's still there.
Dirt's still there. It makes a pilot hole, so your hole doesn't change. It with an auger.
Yep.
As you say, you'll throw the dirt out, but then you've got to ram the dirt back in. With this, you just put a pilot hole in.
Yep.
Point your post, put him in there, thump him away with that. Job's done.
So faster.
Faster.
Tighter fit.
Yep.
And safer.
And safer and more efficient.
So mate, last but not least, we've got the old driver here. Now you bought a new one simply because of the volume of work that you're dealing with.
Yep.
The old one's still working, but you've never actually had it checked, have you?
Never. Wouldn't even know where to start. Wouldn't know how to do it.
Let's get Simon, who just happens to be here today, strange that, and get him to take us through how you can check one of these machines and see how you're motoring.
Beautiful.
Simon, how you going, mate?
G'day, Simon.
G'day, Tim. How you going?
Good to see you again, mate. Long drive down from Newcastle this morning?
Very long one this morning, mate. Yep.
Mate, people are pretty scared, and rightfully so, of the compressed gas inside these machines, but they can actually easily check it themselves. Can I grab that camera off the tripod and you give Rob and me a bit of a quick masterclass, mate?
Sure can, mate. Easy. Well, like every good fencing contractor, you've never even opened up the toolbox.
Mate,
but I do notice it's a bit battered.
Yeah. I've never had the need to, mate.
All right.
It's never missed a beat.
Well, let's get the gas chuck out and we'll show you how to check the gas pressure in your post driver. You only need to do this check if you've had your machine for quite a few years, in the case of Rob 5+ years, or if your machine starts to not hit so well. You don't need to do this with a new unit. It's already done for you. Okay, so this is the gas chuck that you get in your little toolkit. Before you screw it onto the charge valve, this little cap where the hose would normally screw on, and this little dump valve there loose, and you need to tighten them up. Only needs to be good finger tight, and nip up the little one as well. Because if you put it on and push the button down with those loose, you'll dump gas out of your post driver. You only need one spanner or socket, 17mm, to take the cap out of the charge valve, and the gas chuck screws straight into that. Just reiterate that I've nipped up the dump valve and the cap on there so they won't leak, and then we push down this button on top and the gas pressure will come up on the gauge, which will take the reading and check if it's on spec. Okay, so we can see there that it's running at about 8 bar. Now it is a little bit low, and as Rob said, he hasn't checked this thing in 5+ years. So new from the factory, they come with 16.5 bar of nitrogen gas, which is 235 psi. This being down at 8.5 is quite a bit low. You'd really want to recharge it before it gets below 12 bar. We're now going to use the gas bottle and the line in the gas chuck kit to fit to the gas chuck and top up the gas back to spec. So we just nipped up the fittings. We're now ready to go. Closed off the dump valve. So we're still looking at 8.5 bar. So now we just crack, this is a needle valve on the bottle, so it's really easy to monitor how much gas you're putting through. And you just watch the gauge. I'm watching coming up. Doesn't matter if it goes a little bit high, that's up at 20 at the moment if I back it off. So I've got a little bit too far, but that doesn't matter. We use this little dump valve down here to just very gently crack the pressure, and we'll bring it back to 16.5 bar. Getting there. You can even leave it, like that's at 17 more or less, you can leave it there. So we're all reset, the gas pressure's good to go. Now, this little dump valve here, you crack it open really quickly. It'll jettison the gas out of the chuck and the line, and it'll leave the rest of the gas will be back inside the chamber. So there, I've released the gas out of the chuck and there. The gas is trapped in there by the charge valve. We're now ready to disassemble this gear off it. Put our little cap back in to seal it up so it doesn't leak while it's vibrating and hitting. And don't over tension that little plug because you can snap it off, you big strong fencing contractors and farmers. There, done. One extra little tip, don't be tempted to put more nitrogen gas pressure in than the spec. If I was to leave it at 20 or 22 bar, the unit won't run. You put it back on, the hydraulics will stall out, they won't be able to cycle the piston. So make sure you get it on spec, 16.5, 17 bar, and it'll be perfect. So all this kit comes with your brand new Thor, and even if you lose the bottle, you lose your chuck, we've got spares as well you can get down the track, but everything comes with the unit as a plug and play package.
Well, Simon, invaluable knowledge as always, mate. We finally got you out of the shed and into the paddock with Rob, mate. It's been a fantastic day, hasn't it?
It's been fantastic, and it is. It's nice. It's like having a day off, getting out in the field.
Yeah, no, it's awesome stuff. So you don't have to do much to these things, even 5 years down the track and thousands of posts later, Rob, to keep them hitting and on target.
Exactly, yeah. Simon, thank you.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Showing me how to maintain my machinery and
no
keep
worries.
it running so I can keep making money.
You're welcome, mate. You're
Thank
welcome. Hopefully the video helps people to be able to see how to test the gas and check it and top it up themselves.
100%. If you know someone with a Thor post driver and they've noticed it's getting a little bit sluggish over the last few months, send them this video, recommend that they recharge their nitrogen gas, and they'll be back on target, hitting posts and making money. Rob, thanks very much for your involvement today.
Thank you, Tim.
Simon, thanks very much for the knowledge, mate.
No worries. Thanks, Tim.
And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, keep the channel growing, and keep great people like this in your lounge room. See you next week with something else.
I'll wait for you and then
I'm terrible because I'll say something different because you know what I'm like. I'll say something different this time. So
I'll just wait for your pause and then
then you'll go.
In my underwear, everything's good. Go.
Okay.